Question: what is your stockpiling style? What? I'm not even going to go into an intro. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and in case you've never heard of me, which is about a 95% chance, I am a former elementary school teacher, and I worked in medical. I did a whole bunch of stuff, but now I am a semi-retired lady that loves to help people with money saving tips and tricks. We're getting into the stockpiling thing. I have to admit, I've graduated from toddlerhood to kindergarten. But I do have a question. What is your style of stockpiling? This morning I went into my pantry, my walk-in pantry, which, by the way, I turned into a walk-in pantry, which I'm going to do a separate video about how to do that, just completely how to do that. People think they don't have space. I'm talking to you from a New York City apartment, and I can do it. So that will be its own separate video discussion one day. But I noticed I kind of didn't like the way things looked. They were starting to get a little moved around because, admittedly, last week I said, this is going to be the time of the month where I'm going to shop my pantry at home and not have to receive an order or not have to pick up things at the grocery store. So I gave myself a reprieve. This is one of the reasons why we have an extended pantry. Sure, I have stuff in the freezer. Sure, I had some stuff, of course, in my working pantry. But there are things that I just wanted. So with the activity, you go in, you go out, you go in, you go out, you take your stuff, whatever that you plan to use for the next few days. And then sometimes you don't bother to fix it to look better. I don't know what it is with me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I fell in love with a certain artist picture many years ago that had all the cans lined up, if you know what I'm trying to say. And once I saw that, it was like, wow, that just looks so cool. But I come to the conclusion, it is a lot simpler for me, Jan from New York City, that saves money, to just walk into this little area and know precisely where things are. So what happened was, I don't know what it was with me in the last few days. I was just craving, maybe the time of the year, maybe because we were so close to that big game the other day, but I started craving a certain canned chili. And the interesting thing about chili is that years ago you couldn't pay me to eat chili. You just because it just didn't look pretty. It didn't look pretty to me. Sometimes food doesn't necessarily have to look pretty to be absolutely delicious. So that's what happened in my case. And as time went by, a dear friend of mine sent me a specific brand of chili, and I tried that chili, canned chili. It was really, really good. So keep in mind to never, ever, ever close off your options to trying different things. So now it's like, oh my gosh, I can't seem to live without having some at hand. So I ran out of it in my active pantry, but then I realized, wait a minute, but you do have some in your extended pantry. And can I tell you something? It was a really nice thing to know. It was a really nice thing to have. This is part of the reason that I personally, even though I'm still in kindergarten, I personally encourage people to start stockpiling. How do you stockpile from the beginning? One can at a time, just like I did. And I even mentioned in a prior video that suppose you have a couple of things in your current or your active pantry, like your cabinets in your kitchen, for example, type thing. Suppose you have multiple cans of the same item. That's your golden opportunity to remove one of those canned items or one of those box items that can keep shelf-stable stuff. And you can immediately begin your extended pantry stockpile. Just saying, just saying, just saying. So let's get back to what happened this morning. So this morning, I just noticed, I says, oh no, it doesn't look the way I'd like it to. And what you see is what you get right behind me. I shot this picture about 1 hour ago. So therefore, I want to let you know, I'm just going to move away. No, which way I have to move away so you can see how nicely everything's lined up. Let's see if I could get you into there. See? There you go. How do you like that? Look how everything has a place and a place for everything. This is something I was taught years ago. A place for everything and everything has a place, or the other way around. Either way, it ends up to the same idea. You know what I'm trying to say? So I sat down because I have some back issues. I was in unfortunately, I was in an automobile accident years ago. Not my fault. It was a driver who hit me as a pedestrian, and I took it all in the hip. And it kind of left me in like sometimes very challenging physical position whereby I cannot carry very heavy items and have, sometimes a little struggle with steps. Again, not my fault, and this and that and that and this. So heavy items carrying upstairs are out of the question because I must hold on to the handrails type thing. But everybody has their own thing, and I'm just grateful. And at that time I had started teaching like the year prior, right after that accident, and I was advised to stay out of teaching. It was just like October when that happened. I said I can't let my kids down. And when I called my principal, who knew me a million years, she felt so badly. But then she said, "Okay, I'll see you Tuesday." I called her on a Sunday night. It happened on a Sunday night, and she says, "Okay, I'll see you Tuesday." I'm like, "Oh, gee, that's a whole lot of time for a person that just got hit by a car." So anyway, but despite everything, I didn't go in Tuesday. Maybe I went in about Wednesday or Thursday, but I didn't leave my class. I didn't. I was too attached to my, getting the job done type thing. That's me. That's what I do. It's just it's just the way I am. But the bottom line, why I'm telling you all of this, it sort of left me in like a little bit of a disability situation. Unfortunately, I don't like the word disability. I'll say physically challenged situation. So but the energy is still there, the mind is still there, and I hope to give people some helpful tips and tricks. So getting back to why I was sitting on my chair to reach down for the lower shelving. That's why I gave you all that rigmarole just just to let you know. Okay. I said to myself, you know what, Jen? Even though things were kind of sort of just in a slight, like a can might have been moved over a couple of inches, but more or less the groups were still the same. So for me, I figured it out. Hey, grouping my cans, grouping my boxes, grouping my paper goods works the best for me. Now, I know people that their stockpiling style is kind of like eclectic. I don't know. I hope that's the right word I'm looking for. So anyway, their style is eclectic. However, that person or persons, because I know a couple of people who have that type of style, eclectic way of keeping their, their pantry items in their extended stockpile. They could tell me in 2 seconds where their stuff is. They don't necessarily need the grouping like I do, but I'm a visual person. And for me, I like to compartmentalize it and I enjoy keeping the things in groups. So just curious today to know, let me know in the description box below. What would you call yourself? What is your stockpiling style? And it could be doesn't matter which pantry. It could be your extended pantry. It could be in your active pantry. Is your stockpiling style, would you call yourself groupy or eclectic? Groupy or eclectic? Let me know. I am so curious. And more importantly, does it work for you? Some people, they're eclectic because they forgot about a few things and it's really not their intention. But some people are eclectic, meaning that it's not necessarily in like a strict group like I have behind me. How did I do that again? I think I went all the way this way. No, here's what I did so you can see everything. Okay, are you like soup for soups? Are you like coffee for coffee? Are you like paper towel for paper towel? That type of thing. What I do, however, I have noticed that the very bottom shelf, I allow for a little bit of eclectivity, if you will. Anyway, just want to know. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. Thank you so much for viewing. Why? Because I really do appreciate who? You. Don't forget to come back in the future for some more savings tips and tricks. I'm not even going to use an outro today. I'm just going to let this go away. Be the outro. Let me know how your style is. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Take good care. Leave a comment below.